weiter, wir haben uns noch gar nicht unterhalten. Machen jetzt direkt den Vortrag oder ach, of course. Ja gut, wir müssen in, okay. Das ist die erste Sache natürlich, also das wird auf Englisch, er hält seinen Vortrag in Englisch, so, und es sollte jemand da sein, der eigentlich tendenziell simultan übersetzt, der ist aber krank, so, und dann versuche ich mein Bestes und die beiden, die helfen mir dabei, und vorhin haben wir gehört, die beiden waren auch gerade in England, also
können da auch helfen, ich war 40 Jahre an
ja, oder gibt es denn überhaupt jemanden im Raum, der nicht Englisch versteht? Ach, ist schon sehr schlecht.
So even United States not gonna go Winter Olympic. At that situation, January 1st this year, 2018, January 1st, New Year address or New Year message from Kim Jong-un of North Korea leader, top leader. He give a New Year message. There are contents we can participate in Winter Olympic together with South Korea. That message delivered is South Korean President Moon Jae-in, President Moon Jae-in. And then he accepted that offer. Then he started to get in touch with the North Korea, the back and forth. Then they finally decide can participate Winter Olympic together. But in case of some ice hockey is a one team. And then entrance ceremonies is one flag, join together one flag with one Korea flag, you know. You might see that this one Korea flag is at the Pyeongchang Olympic. This flag. You remember? Anybody remember this?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. This is a one Korea.
One color.
One Korea. Eh?
One Korea, one color.
Okay. South Korea has their own flag. North Korea has its own flag. But it's a joint event. What flag we use? And then start tradition. Okay, why don't we use this? This is a kind of map of the Korean Peninsula. And Jeju Island down there, and then you know the Tokdo? This is the small things is Tokdo. Japanese insist it's their land. No, this is historically, traditionally is belong to a Korean island.
So it's not just an ink spot, it's a real island.
Yeah. Okay, then first thing and then what second thing? Okay, second is okay, finally is South Korea and North Korea top leaders get together April 27 at Panmunjom. Just only one day. The Panmunjom, I'm not sure whether you watch TV or not. You know, one day, 12 hours. 9 o'clock started, evening 9 p.m. is finished. Whole 9 hours. Every moment is dramatic, very dramatic, very interesting, attracts global communities. Also, not only top leaders, even their beautiful wives join that event. That also attracts global community. Finally, they shook hands. They have a consensus to make reconciliation and steps for reunification. So already you know the Kim Dae-jung president, 2000, June 16, June 15, they already made reunification step, compromise, consensus. And also later on 2007, President Roh Moo-hyun and North Korean top leader Kim Jong-il also the reconciliation and reunification. However, unfortunately, next president, Lee Myung-bak,
Glücklicherweise hat
ultra-right character,
Excuse me, one of the president's name was?
Lee Myung-bak.
Yeah, the South Korean
Yes,
president.
I see. We said the abbreviation is MB, Myung-bak, MB. Yeah, MB occupied position, president.
Position eingenommen
Then started to break
und hat
reconciliation
der
environment.
Versöhnungsprozess
The 4 years
das war 4 Jahre.
is the worst situation. And then next is the president, Lady President Park Geun-hye,
Also
who is the daughter of military dictator Mr. Park Chung-hee, president.
Militärdiktators
Park Chung-hee, 1960.
von
And then 18 years he
der 18 Jahre
occupied illegally political power.
eigentlich die politische Macht
Her daughter
übernommen hatte.
occupied. So that 10 years period,
10 Jahre lang für eine Periode von 10
North Korea and South Korea, they have already had a consensus to make a reconciliation, reunification step. But it has been blocked.
Versöhnung herbeizuführen.
The worst situation.
Und das war die schlechteste
And then
Situation.
they asked to United States join and then make tension, Korean Peninsula. And then they have the plan 5027, 5030, 50 blah 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 blah. It's invade North Korea, threatening with airplane with nuclear weapon.
Korea zu invadieren, hat die
There's a very tension.
203
Then,
diese Spannung aufrechtzuerhalten,
as you know,
zu intervenieren.
the what should I 12 December, I think December 17, 2011, previous president of top leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-il, he passed away. Suddenly passed away in the train.
Plötzlich im Zug,
Then
dann
it's a very critical situation, and then the North Korea Congress
der Nordkorea
get together and decide to next president is Kim Jong-un. The young people. His date of birth is exactly 1982, January 8.
8. Januar 1982 geboren.
30, early part of the 30th generation. However,
Wie auch immer.
many overseas Koreans, even the people who love North Korea,
Viele Leute,
especially progressive intellectuals, worry about seriously.
haben sich
North Korea is a very critical situation. Leader is disappeared.
von Nordkorea.
But they didn't know who is Kim Jong-un, new leader, young leader.
Man wusste nicht, wer ist
And
Kim
then
Jong-un, der neue
he comes.
Führer. Und dann kommt er.
Then
Dann
I went to North Korea. I covered the news. I saw the young leader.
den jungen
And
Führer
then,
gesehen.
fortunately, I shook hands with the young leader.
Die Hände mit ihm.
Then I feel like he's like the first president. The first revolution is the Kim Il-sung.
Er ist
You know, outlooking is quite same, and then hands is quite same, feeling is quite same, and then outlooking is very similar to Mr. Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-un. Then I took a look at what his background. He's an expert of the 21st century war. Means is he graduated is the North Korean military academy. Then his thesis of his school, the military academy, is high-tech war strategy.
über die Hightech-Strategie.
And also, he is a very smart. I think you heard is that he already got overseas study in Switzerland, the young age. Then he has a very broad mind. Also, he has a very deep mind and then bright mind too. So that initially, many people worry about overseas Koreans, you know. Even the socialist or the international people, and then third world country intellectual came over there. They worried about, but one by one, yeah, day by day, is gradually become feel comfortable because this young leader did great job. But as you know, 2012, April 15 is the first president's birthday. That is the biggest holiday in North Korea, April 15. There I went there with other 160 international journalists. And then there is a Kim Il-sung Square. 100,000 people, whole bunch of people. And then he first delivered a speech by speaker. Then great speech. Said, I remember now, you people from now on don't worry about the superpowers' nuclear weapons. The controlling nuclear weapon by superpowers is over. He declared. Second, don't worry about economic and hunger. Then you don't have to worry about the economic thing. We are ready. Also, we have potentiality, and then we have something. So two things is I remember his speech. Then every year I went there. Sometimes the 6 or 7 times a year. Every time I go there, our looking is a change. Okay, Science Street, Kimchek Science Street, the town, and then Yeomyeong town. 100 is an apartment. The 100 of is like recreational the playground. Even the playing airplane, the tours, sightseeing, and then horse riding. That not only military defense industry, but also is just a extra life the facility. And then those things programmed they provided, the government is providing. So I have some kinds of how did they get money developed, So many people in Korean American and then Korean Japanese and then Korean Chinese, they ask me, hey, Mr. Rowe, can you tell me they are hungry and then their people all die, or how they developed their the country? So that I asked is one of several party people, high-ranking people, how did you get their money? First, many people ask me, so please tell me. Then I didn't know. They explained me. Secretary, maybe semi-secretary. Number one is satellite. Earned money, satellite. They have a satellite. The satellite is searching natural resource. And then second is a water resource. Natural resource and water resource. And then third, as you know, is weather forecast, things like that. But small country and a poor country buy big money from United States, Japan, I don't know, maybe German provided or not that day. Anyway, it's several countries that dominantly occupy those kind of the deal. Then the DPRK, North Korea, start to get money selling. But some poor company, okay, 6 months is free. And then 7 months, maybe 10% of the contract money. But as you know, over 200 countries, many of them is start to contract with North Korea. They said this money is the number one biggest revenue money. Number two is they said we have money from intelligence. Well, what is intelligence labor? That means is high tech knowledge. For example, is Kim Il-sung University, they graduated is physics and then computer science and things like that. They went out to work for a Russian country, the China, and then third world country. For example, it's not like a menial job, not like the general job. They supported those countries is high-tech products,
Für Hightech-Produkte.
such as a
Zum Beispiel
computer program,
Computer-
such as a missile, ship. I'm not sure whether you heard about is a
Ich weiß nicht, ob Sie davon gehört haben.
CNC. CNC. Do you hear about the CNC? CNC is a computer numerical control.
Computer numerical control.
That's right. That is the international axis is number 6 axis. That's the average of international. But 9 axis is the country can make most products. But
I didn't understand that. What about the axis?
or X axis, AX
Oh yeah, okay.
axis.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
So
axis.
You mean a coordinate system?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sonst
the
ist alles-
DPLK has its officially announced is a 13
Offiziell
axis, but
erklärt.
informal information I got is 18 axis, which means it's that is very very sensitive. This hair, 1 per million. The precise data, very very detailed data from
Sorry to
CNC.
interrupt you, but
Yeah.
I just didn't get this part of it. So they are developing computer programs or computer systems.
Yeah, computer program make okay.
which
I'm
are
gonna make
capable of
I'm gonna make a missile. Okay, I'm gonna make an automobile,
Rakete machen
and then
Auto.
they put the data,
Und die
and then they come out,
stellen die Daten
and
zur
then
Verfügung
with
dem
this,
Auto.
and then produce.
Und das wird dann produziert.
Yeah. For example, is that I'm gonna build the big construction,
Okay.
and then they put in the
Yeah.
data. They come out, and then they follow one by one, instructing this.
So
공작
that
기계.
North Korea provided computer programs
That's
that,
right. Yeah.
that can help in designing high-tech
Yes,
products.
yes, that's
Also
right.
das
Yeah.
Korea
So
das
that
Computerprogramm
is the President
entwickelt,
Kim Jong-il,
die
previous Kim Jong-il.
Hightech-Produkte,
CNC
in die Produktion
is a
reinbringen
weapon of 21st century.
können. Und das sind die Waffen des 21.
Yes.
Jahrhunderts, die Kriegsmittel.
So yeah, I'm not scientist, but I'm the social
Ja,
science major. But anyhow, is this information from the intellectual in their field. So
Informationen aus deren Feld.
okay, what is number 3 is income sources. There's natural resources.
Einkommensquellen, die aus
Natural resources is that there are a lot of natural resources in North
Es gibt in
Korea.
Nordkorea jede Menge Boden.
And then number 4 maybe weapon.
Nummer 4 ist
Number 5
vielleicht-
the miscellaneous. Anyway, 3 major is
Aber die drei
just
wichtigsten sind
intelligence,
Intelligence.
intellectual knowledge. They are asset of DPLK.
Das ist das Hauptsachen.
Okay, now this time you heard of denuclearization from North Korea. Some people believe, some people doubt, suspicious. The DPRK really they gonna become denuclearization state? I think it's a yes, because they established is a joint policy with nuclear development and at the same time economic development together is 2013 and March. But last year, 2017, November 17, they fired just before is 6 times nuclear weapon underground test successfully fired. And then following, they fired the missile with something. It's called is a Hwasong 15. Hwasong 15. Yeah, that is a capability to reach is over 12,000 kilometers, which means is a White House over over White House, which means that any places of the United States. But the United States checked really. This one like that, and then they count that they calculated is they approved, and then United States is become urgent situation, emergency situation, and then they discuss with the CIA people, State Department, and every department is hurry to hey let's even Hawaii and Guam, those towns is prepared to move other territory because it's they reported the DPR case development and fire is a success. They worry about those situations. Donald Trump start to move hidden, secretly. That's why Pompeo is the CIA people. You know the Pompeo, right? CIA top is the CIA. And then he back and forth, secretly, and then openly, officially visits 2 times. I think the other day, they come and then take three American CIAs, American spies, and then they released. That means North Korea and United States summit success. Even not start yet, but they have already have a consensus with both parties. But the United States is worried about Japan. Japan is a very, very the puppet state. Japan. Japan is totally different from German. Unfortunately, German war crime country, as you know. Japan is also war crime country, but German is very sincere to compensate victims so far. I think honestly, so I respect German country, you know, even though one time bad things happened. But Japan still, not at all. Even, you know, sexual slave, you know, the Japanese military, they use these Korea and other Asian country people, mostly Korean. But the sexual slave, no, that is not sexual slave. That is prostitute, like that. They don't have any official apologization. Apologize. Okay, this is not main thing anyhow. Then what else? Okay, now United States, South and North Korea. North Korea situation is very good so far. The Moon Jae-in is a star from the grassroots movement. The grassroots movement people protested is the past 2 presidents, Lee Myung-bak, there's ultra-right. Second is Park Geun-hye, ultra-right too. And then they collapsed. Then Moon Jae-in is stars born. They supported by grassroots, real progressive people. Even 25% small number of people support them still, support them. But maybe 60.
Let me just slow you down a little bit.
Yeah.
The part with the grassroots movement, is that 3? You talked about a right-wing movement.
Yeah, right-wing movement is the Lee Myung-bak, previous president.
Okay.
And then
Also das ist die Bewegung
Park Geun-hye,
des vorhergehenden Präsidenten in
yeah,
Südkorea.
5 years, and then President Park Geun-hye is also ultra-right.
Ist auch ein Ultrarechter.
Yeah, but people got uprising, okay?
Die Leute haben sich erhoben gegen.
Yeah.
They were
Then
uprising against.
they protested.
Ja,
Yeah,
die haben
that is
protestiert und das war
Mr. Moon Jae-in become president.
Und
The
deswegen
Moon
kam
Jae-in
Jose Moon
is
Jae-in
supported by grassroots
und
or
okay.
progressive
Und ist
or
bei Fortschritt
middle
der
of the
Graswurzelbewegung
people, even
jetzt
right,
sogar- sogar von
yeah, but
rechts.
except the 20 and 25%.
20, also 20 bis 25%.
Yeah. But I think 75% is supported Moon Jae-in.
75.
Yeah, 75%.
75%
Yeah.
haben diesen
But it's already
Bereich.
the past 1 year, the Mr. Moon Jae-in president
Ist jetzt
is
ein Jahr
still
schon dass er Präsident wurde.
popularity is very high.
Und seine Popularität ist noch
Ja.
sehr hoch. So hast du beschrieben.
Okay, now what should I deliver next thing? So that the
One question.
Yes.
this morning. What does right movement mean for Korea?
Huh?
What does the right wing means in Korea?
Oh, right wing
What is
means
the main
Korea.
political-
Right wing means is I can define
Das würde ich eigentlich folgendermaßen definieren.
define pro U.S. imperialist.
Für den US-Imperialismus.
That's the right.
Das sind die Rechte.
And then number 2 is
Nummer zwei
pro USA,
sind
pro
für USA,
capitalist.
Für den Kapitalismus.
Yeah, so to speak, is a right wing.
So there's two sections you mean. There's
Yes.
pro-imperialism
Yeah,
and
imperialism,
pro-capitalism,
pro-capitalism.
which is less bad.
No, pro not capitalism, pro capitalist,
Oh.
not capitalism.
Mhm.
But South Korea is a capitalism. It's okay,
Mhm.
but exploitation,
Yeah.
the power, small number of the business people, but some business people support the South
Das ist eine
Korean.
kleine Nummer von
That's right,
Anzahl von
yeah.
Geschäftsleuten, die Südkorea unterstützen.
Okay, in addition to I can deliver a lot of things, but from now on I should answer your question.
So
But
viel
I think
Gelegenheit nutzen,
today I'm very
heute
happy, I should
sehr
say,
fröhlich
because your country is already
weil Ihr Land
divided East German and West German, right?
auch in Westen
Then now it's
geteilt.
one
Und
German.
jetzt ist es ein Deutschland.
But Korea still
Korea
is
ist immer noch-
7 years, over 7 years separated and then
Seit
divided.
70 Jahren immer noch
But
geteilt.
people really wanted to
Und so
become
ist
one
unser
country
Volk
instead of
möchte wirklich ein
two different
Land
countries.
aus
So that
verschiedenen
the Korea's the
So die beiden Korea-
unification methodology is this way, not like your country. Your country is Western Germany, Eastern Germany together now.
So nicht-
But
wie bei euch
South
in
Korea and
Westen
North Korea is not like your
zusammengebracht
country
worden,
because
aber
it's
Nord- und Südkorea
the
sind
both
anders,
parties
nicht
is a
so
very
wie ihr Land.
big and very powerful.
Das eine Teil
So
ist sehr
that
groß und
one
sehr
side
mächtig.
is take over, the other side is
Die andere
impossible.
Seite
That means
würde
it's a
einfach
war.
einfach übernehmen.
So
Das
that-
würde Krieg bedeuten.
Intellectual, there say
Die
two
Intellektuellen
steps.
sagen, wir müssen zwei
One
Schritte
is
gehen. Der erste
federation or
Schritt ist eine
confederation
Föderation,
methodology
eine Konföderation
is
zwischen beiden.
one step.
Das ist der erste
And then
Schritt.
maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years, and then
10 oder 20
one
Jahre.
country like
Dann können wir einen
your
Weg
country.
ausmachen, so wie bei
But
euch.
for the time being,
Aber für die
South
Zeit
Korea, the practice operate is their own capitalist way. North Korea is a socialist way.
kapitalistischen
However,
Weg und die Nordkorea-
they
Ja,
get
ja,
together
trotzdem,
their
aber
own
trotzdem
autonomous
zusammenkommen.
function, and then some military is together, or sports is together, or some is the territorial governance is by own system. The South by capitalist system, North is by socialist system.
Ja, okay.
Yes.
Das Süd- ja.
Between Kim Jong Un and Trump. It's scheduled for the 12th of June
Sure.
in Singapore.
Yes.
Does it have a special meaning that it will be in Singapore? So Singapore means it is in Asia. In as far as I know, in Singapore there are a lot of Chinese people from the origin. So does this have does this have a special meaning? And
Bedeutung, warum das in Singapur stattfindet.
And then, what do you think? What are the special interests of the United States now by having this change in the in their politics? What is the special interest of the United States? But we know here, so that is the biggest imperialist power, you know, and and of course they want to continue to have their imperialist structures. So, what is the background at the moment?
Well,
Good question.
number one is why the decide the Singapore? Singapore, the place decided by the President Trump.
Ja?
Yeah, he wanted it. And then North Korean leader, okay, you wanted that? This is okay. The North Korean leader is very, what should I say, flexible. And then the not only flexible, but also the respect is the United States as a superpower. But the North Korean leaders don't mind Beijing, Pyongyang, Panmunjom, anywhere. But he did not want to argue about the deciding place, summit place. That is not important. Any place. That means is a young leader, Kim Jong-un, is a very tolerant character. He's very tolerant, even though he's young age, but he's very tolerant. I should say. So the place insisted by President Trump, then he said that Pompeo is delivered a few days ago. Okay. What is the place is not important. Okay. Then is many news media South Korea. Why Singapore? Singapore is a very modernized city. Also, the Panmunjom is already President Moon Jae-in and Kim Jong-un already had an event over there. So that avoid the same place, than the other place. So that also Kim Jong-un has their own the presidential airplane is not not big airplane, so cannot reach to our United States. So that the place is Singapore is able to reach those places. Also short distance. I don't know. After the United States and DPRK summit, maybe I heard some news. President Moon Jae-in of South Korea, when they finish, when they got the consensus between the United States and then North Korea, the Kim Jong-un president, then Moon Jae-in might join with 3 countries. So yeah, I heard that it is not official information. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't have big concern about the place, Yeah. That is not the
So what is the special interest of the United States?
Special interest?
Of the United States?
Interested to summit with the North Korea?
Yeah, and to
Okay, I should say number one is United States become weak. The relatively DPRK become strong in terms of military power. And then military power, especially their nuclear arms, their North Korea, is some weapon the United States do not have. I think you have heard is EMP.
no.
Electronic, magnetic EMP.
Electronic?
Yeah, electronic.
Electronic magnetic pulse.
Yeah, magnetic powers. That's right. Yeah, that means is okay. Fired is air, and then the weapons of the other parties' weapons is make a freezing.
So this is something that you claim that the North Koreans have and the Americans don't. Is that?
The North Korea is a very super weapon of the EMP. The Russia has the excellent EMP. Yes.
Also das heißt,
Yeah, but the United States is very scared about their EMP or produced by the DPRK. But not only EMP, but also SLBM. SLBM, submarine fire.
Ja, auch Unterseebootgestützte Raketen.
But some weapons United States don't have.
Are you sure they don't have them?
Yes, don't have.
But
No.
But they are vulnerable.
Some weapon.
Yeah. Can we?
When you visit the DPRK, they have a military weapons exhibition hall. There is a they displayed is a Hwasong 12. I told you Hwasong 15 is reach to United States mainland, but the Hwasong 12 they displayed
Das ist also
the missile
ausgestellt,
and
kann man
weapon.
sehen.
Wo ist das
Wo ist das? Where is that exactly in Pyongyang?
Oh, Pyongyang, there is an exhibition hall,
Also
the
es gibt eine Ausstellungshalle in
exhibition
Pyongyang
hall, military weapon
mit
exhibition hall. Yeah.
Militärwaffen, sodass
Yes.
man es dort sehen kann.
Yeah.
So in other words, the Hwasong 12
Yeah,
missile,
Hwasong 12
which
missile
is-
displayed.
which is able to, let's say, do some harm to the United
Yeah,
States.
missile, no, Hwasong
Is
12 is
publicly visible.
able to
Yeah.
Guam.
It's visible to the public. You
Yeah.
can see that.
Yes, but the Hwasong
Aber-
12 is cannot reach
Hwasong
to a
12
mainland of United
kann-
States.
kann nicht
But
das,
Hwasong 15 is able to reach the
Die
United
12
States
kann
mainland.
das
Yes.
amerikanische Festland nicht erreichen, aber die 15 kann es.
You know,
Die
the
erste
DPRK
kann Guam
young
erreichen,
people,
die andere
the
ist nach
the
Leute.
computer program contest
Haben
they-
einen
many
Computerprogrammwettbewerb
they
gemacht und sehr-
got
sehr
first
viele
prize, gold medal.
haben sehr oft den
Even
ersten Preis bekommen.
The Google participated in the contest,
Sogar
but
Google hat
participated
diesen,
is the second and third place. And United, the DPRK young people
Aber junge
become
Leute aus
gold
Nordkorea
medalists.
haben die Goldmedaille gekriegt.
Very, very
Das
smart.
sind sehr smarte
Also,
Leute.
educational system is very, very good.
Erziehungssystem ist
You know,
gut in Nordkorea.
Oh, I missed one thing.
Ich habe eine Sache vergessen.
United States
Die
so far
Vereinigten Staaten sind soweit,
attacked North Korea toward international global community.
haben
Oh, you don't have no human rights.
äh,
North Korea, no human rights.
Ja, das
You are
angegriffen
no
die
human rights.
Gemeinschaft.
You are
Gesagt,
very
also man hat
tyranny.
keine
You are very
Menschenrechte.
dictators like
Ihr
that.
seid Diktatoren,
But-
ihr seid eine Diktatur. Aber-
Different definition or a different concept of the what is
Eine
human rights.
verschiedene,
The DPRK people, North Korean people,
Definition
what
und
is
verschiedenes, Konzept
human
von,
rights?
was Menschenrechte sind.
North Korean people explained
Die
to me when I interviewed with them.
nordkoreanischen Leute haben ihm erklärt, weil also
Human rights provide is a right to work.
ist zum Beispiel ein
No
Recht zu
any
arbeiten.
unemployed in United
Und
the
nicht,
DPRK,
arbeitslos
North
zu
Korea.
sein, so wie in-
Number two, right to reside house. That means
Das
it's
Recht, eine
housing
Wohnung zu haben.
that were given freely residential property. Everybody has a house. No any single homeless people.
Es gibt keine.
Is there homeless people in German?
Oh,
Ja,
yes,
doch.
Yes?
yes.
I don't think so.
A lot of.
Did you
A
say
lot of-
property?
Many.
Everybody, but
No,
just a
homeless,
question.
homeless, the street
Yes,
sleeping.
Yeah,
yes,
no,
yes.
I mean, you
Yes,
said-
a lot of.
I haven't seen them.
They
But
are
they
here
are-
in
no,
the
they are.
streets.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
here,
Yeah.
next corner,
Yeah.
next corner, you'll see them
You know,
in the evening.
until you
But
And
until you mention in my mind, Germany is in the capitalist countries number one country. I thought because there's no any homeless people here. I haven't seen
Ja.
that.
Ich dachte immer, das
Oh, anyway, this is the
A lot
job.
of people here are collecting bottles
Oh,
all
I
the
see.
day.
Also, DPRK
But,
people.
excuse me, you're too fast. You're moving too fast.
sorry.
Sorry. One question, but you said there's a residential property in the
Freely.
North Korea.
Yeah, everybody owns.
Does it really mean everybody
Yeah.
owns the
Yeah.
building he's living
Yeah,
in?
which means
Are
is
there no rental contracts between the
property
state and the
is
people?
not the individual, the nation property.
It is a nation property.
Until they
So
pass
you're
a-
still a tenant.
Yeah.
A tenant, but
But
not
the-
of a private person, but of the state. Is that
yeah,
true?
yeah, not sell and not buy.
Okay, yeah. Understood.
So
Ja.
until they pass away, they own their
Also
house.
jeder hat Eigentum an Häusern in Nordkorea. Das meint, es ist kein privates Eigentum, das ist Staatseigentum. Ja? Da kann es leben.
Okay, number three, they always insist they have to write, to know, which means it's education free.
Wird immer gesagt, sie haben das
Even
Recht zu
PhD,
wissen,
master, doctor, whatever,
Erziehung,
free.
Abschlüsse, Masterabschlüsse und so weiter.
Yeah.
Das ist frei.
Okay, education.
Das kostet
What else?
Yeah, well, healthcare.
Gesundheit.
Oh, healthcare is a free healthcare.
Gesundheitsfürsorge ist in
Free
Nordkorea
healthcare
komplett
system.
frei.
But the hospital is not quite modernized like a Western country, but they have two functions. One is a choreo medical system, which means it's the Korean style medical treatment system.
Traditional medicine.
Yeah, medicine. Yeah, you know, herbal program, like a ginseng, like those kinds of thing. You know, yeah, that is one part, and the other part is they say Western medicine. The surgery is a Western surgery operation. So two things, but both is they're all free. But that means is that they have to right to be medically treatment. They have a right. So that nation, the country provide is all free. No tax.
Keine Steuer.
Yeah, no tax. They buy something from department store, no tax at all. So that gentleman, my gentleman over there, cameraman, he visited his first time and second time. He expressed paradise. This is a paradise.
I'm sorry, no tax about anything, or no tax because of food.
No food and
There's
no
no
tax.
consumption tax, so there's no
No
VAT,
tax.
stuff like this. If you buy something in a department store,
Yeah.
there's no sales tax, there's
No
no
sales
VAT,
tax. Yeah, no sales
there's
tax.
no local tax, nothing. So you're just paying what the product's worth, there's no state tax on it.
No state tax and no the sales tax.
So how does the state get its money?
Okay. Yeah, state gets money. I told you they earn the money, but they salary, okay?
Mhm.
Yeah, they salary.
Das ist das
it-
Gehalt, was bezahlt wird?
Yeah, every month they get the salary.
Ja.
Yeah, so that means is they pay glass,
Mhm.
the luxury things,
Ja.
Ach so.
very expensive.
Also
Luxury is
sehr,
very
sehr-
very expensive.
Zum Beispiel Brillen.
But daily thing, food, things like that, very
Das
very
tägliche
cheap,
Bedarf
almost
ist sehr,
free.
Sehr günstig, sehr
But-
billig.
But spectacles belongs to
Everybody needs
healthcare
them.
as well.
Healthcare is free, 100% is free.
But this is.
What about glasses?
Glass is a regular glass is free, but
Also
they
das
want to have
reguläre
a
sind
luxury glass
aber
is
keine-
pay very
keine
expensive.
Luxusgeschichten. Ja. So in other
Okay.
words, if
Yes.
I'm short-sighted and I get a prescription for a set of glasses, I get the standard thing.
Yes, that's
If I want something special, like this one here, which costs about 1,200 euros, that I would pay.
but yeah, very expensive.
I would pay for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was ist mit dem Juchte-System in Nordkorea? Wird es
What about the
ausgebaut
Juche system?
Ah.
Is it being
oder wird
developed
es
or
reduziert?
is it being
Ja.
reduced? The
Ju-
Juche, how do you pronounce it in Korean?
Yeah, Juche, I know,
Is
Juche,
it-
ah,
Yeah.
Juche philosophy.
The Juche philosophy
Yeah.
and the system, is it being developed or is it being reduced?
Being rapidly developed.
Das wird also sehr schnell weiterentwickelt.
Yeah, being
Das
rapidly
Juche-System
developed.
ist das System der
Ja.
Eigenständigkeit.
Wissen
So-
die alle
Ja.
nicht.
I should say,
Perhaps the lady
Mal auf
explains
Deutsch, die
Juche in
verstehen das
German.
alle nicht.
yeah, I should
That's
say,
because not everybody knows what it is.
I should say,
I happen to know it, he happens to know it,
yeah.
but maybe the rest of the
Sag doch mal
audience
auf
doesn't know.
Deutsch.
Im wörtlichen Sinne heißt es auch Subjekt, oder? Subjekt oder Subjektivität.
Aha.
Juche. Also wenn man in der Philosophie Juche oder Kekche sagt, das Subjekt, Objekt oder Subjektivität
Mhm.
oder Objektivität. Und Juche ist Eigenständigkeit.
Mhm. So habe ich es auch
Ja,
verstanden.
so
Ja.
das
Autonomie.
Ja.
Autonomie, ja.
Kann man es auch so
Also
lesen?
Alles
von
selbst
sich
machen.
ausgehend, nicht davon Fremdkräfte gesteuert.
Okay.
Oder ist das richtig?
Und was war die
Die Frage war, ob das weiterentwickelt wird oder ob das jetzt im Zuge dieser neuen Entwicklung zurückgefahren wird. Weil
Ja.
die Frage ist ja, wenn wir jetzt eine Vereinigung haben und wenn diese Weltlage sich ändert, wenn die Amerikaner jetzt auf einmal hergehen und Nordkorea respektieren, braucht man dann noch Juche in diesem Sinn, in diesem Ausmaß? Gibt es da dann die Möglichkeit oder die Notwendigkeit, mehr Außenhandel zu betreiben zum Beispiel? Or in other words, you know, if
My major is not the philosophy, but so far as I am concerned,
soweit mich das betrifft,
I learned what is the Juche ideology, what is the Marxism.
marxistische Ideologie,
My understanding is both is very excellent.
dass das beides sehr
But
exzellent ist.
the Marxism that they created is materialism. Okay.
Ja.
Then the Juche ideology also is based on
Ist
materialism.
auch auf dem Materialismus
However,
aufgebaut, aber
but the development process is different,
der
which
Entwicklungsprozess war
means
anders
is
verschieden.
the Marxism is emphasizing is economic
Ökonomische
economy,
Frage.
but the Juche
Juche
ideology emphasizes
Unterstreicht die
the
Philosophie, ja,
consciousness.
Bewusstseins.
Yeah, human being. They first discuss what is a
Zuerst
human being.
diskutiert, was ist ein
What is a
Mensch,
human
was ist ein
being?
menschliches Wesen.
They define the human being is consists of three factors. One
Aus
is
3 Faktoren bestehend.
independence, human being.
Unabhängigkeit.
Okay, second is 의식성, 그다음에 역사성, historical awareness, historical awareness,
Bescheid
그다음에
wissen über die Geschichte.
creativeness,
Und Schöpfung.
creativeness.
Also,
Yeah,
also schöpferische.
yeah. Human beings consist of three factors. So how to make a human being to become self-determination?
Ein menschliches Wesen
How do
selbstbestimmt ist.
they develop their destiny?
Wie kann man
Destiny-
ihr Schicksal entwickeln?
Their destiny develop. How do they develop their destiny?
Wie können Sie ihr
Yeah,
Schicksal
they emphasize
selbst
these
entwickeln?
things,
Ja,
so
das-
that
das wird
the
unterstrichen.
philosophy department of Kim Il-sung #1 university Kimchi very popular.
Die
So
Philosophie
every
der Kim
North
Il-sung
Korean
ist sehr,
students,
sehr
even though they are
populär.
scientist
Die
major,
nordkoreanischen
they
Studenten, selbst wenn
they
sie
know is a
naturwissenschaftliche
lot of knowledge of
interessiert sind,
philosophy.
haben jede Menge Wissen über Philosophie.
Kannst du
Und über
Moment, soll ich mal übersetzen den Beweggrund oder deine Frage?
Wir können mal andersrum gehen. Er spricht Koreanisch und Sie übersetzen in Deutsch.
Ja, doch.
Mal für 10 Minuten, damit meine Zunge ein bisschen abkühlt.
Ich wollte mal nur deinen vorigen Nennung, warum du das gefragt hast, wollte ich mal hinfügen. Vielleicht kommt es besser. Ja. 아까 저 사람이 이야기할 때 중간에 따진 부분이 뭐냐면 그 통일이 되어도 남북 얘기 많이 만나도 주체 철학을 계속 강화해 나갈 것인가 아니면 남과 북이 이렇게 어울리면 주체 철학을 좀 리듀스하고 줄이고 더 많이 무역을 할 것인가.
그거 그렇게 대답해 주세요. 그러면 이
영어로 하세요.
주체 ideology is not only for a socialist country,
Ist nicht nur für
but also
sozialistische
to for
sondern auch für
capitalist country too,
kapitalistische Länder.
because they defined what is a human being.
Weil es definiert, was ein
Human
menschliches
being
Wesen ist.
is independence
Menschliches Wesen ist
oriented
unabhängig.
animal. Number
Es
two
ein-
is
ja, ein
creative
Tier, das auf-
oriented animal.
ja, auf
Number three is
gerichtet ist.
the historical 역사성,
zwei
historical
Ist die
oriented
geschichtliche-
family. Historical. 역사성.
Bewusstsein, you said family.
The,
Number two
I
would be-
would suggest you you go on internet,
Wenn man
maybe
ins
German
Internet
language,
geht,
your Juche ideology. Then they provide is a German language easily explained. You know,
Okay.
I'm not a philosophy major, but just yeah.
But I understood his question the following way. If Juche automatically implies that one factor of Juche is autonomy of the country.
Yes,
North
that's
Korea.
right. Yeah.
How can North Korea keep this autonomy in the context of a changing world when now there's an agreement between North and South Korea.
Oh.
If there's some perspective of reunification, how can Juche be maintained? Will it grow or will it diminish?
They're one of the leader who already passed away, Kim Jong-il, previous president. Yeah, he said that he visited the Kim Il-sung #1 university over there, and then he mentioned, "Hey, Houston, you guys put your feet on our land, but you look forward to global community, world."
Unser Land, aber guckt auf die ganze Welt.
Yeah, that means is
Das meint er,
they
das
have an
bedeutet das,
open mind, but
dass man einen
always
offenen Geist
based
haben
on
soll, aber immer
Juche.
basiert
Juche
sein
means
soll
is
auf die
their
eigenen
our entity, our
Juche
brain
meint
structure.
unsere Gehirnstruktur, unsere
Our thing, based on our thing, not based on your thing, not based on United States thing, not based on German thing, not based on Japanese thing.
auf irgendetwas,
Our
nicht auf
thing,
Japan,
but
nicht auf USA,
look at
nicht
the
auf euer,
global
sondern auf
community.
unsere Dinge basiert
Yeah,
sein
but
soll.
some people
Aber
is
trotzdem andere
North
Augen
Korea
brauchen.
is very closed, you know,
Aber
but actually it is not.
Korea wird gesagt, sei sehr
But
abgeschlossen.
this
aber
time
wirklich
is
ist es
United
nicht.
States and DPRK DPRK compromise and then consensus
Und haben einen Konsens gefunden,
agreement.
eine
Then
Übereinkunft gefunden,
DPRK become
dann wird
very
Nordkorea
excellent what should I say it's going to be shining.
ja, das wird
But still so far is
es wird
hiding
brillant.
Ja.
Jetzt ist es etwas versteckt, aber es wird sehr
because
shining auf Deutsch.
United
Es wird,
States
sehr strahlend, ja, danke,
Ja.
danke.
Ja.
Wird sehr strahlend sein. Im Moment
Okay, wir haben noch 2 Fragen jetzt im Moment. Also dann 3, 4. Ich habe dann später auch nochmal, also Wolfgang, du zuerst.
Ja.
Einfach am besten auf Deutsch.
Ja.
Ich hätte mal eine Frage zu den Sanktionen, die da verhängt worden
a
sind.
question regarding the sanctions that have been imposed.
Sind die auch gegen Länder wirksam geworden, die mit Nordkorea Handel treiben? Oder nur gegen Nordkorea
Is there any
selber?
effect on countries that are trading with North Korea or only to North Korea itself?
or the sanctions.
The sanctions.
Yeah, yeah. Sanctions. Even though sanctions were proceeded, but they know 7 years they are struggling, so that they know how to survive. So, for example, this is the
Soll ich übersetzen oder hast du jemanden in der Ecke, der das...
Ich höre erst mal zu.
Ja, okay.
Wenn was fehlt, dann melde ich mich.
alles klar.
yeah.
Ja, aber du musst für die beiden jetzt ja dann.
Also 70 Jahre lang haben sie einen Kampf geführt gegen Sanktionen. Continue.
Yeah. So they have already experienced
Die haben schon eine
so
Erfahrung
many
mit
times
Sanktionen
is the
umgegangen.
sanctions,
So viele
sanctions.
Male, dass da
But
Sanktionen, Sanktionen,
they are
Sanktionen
very
verhängt
familiar
wurden.
with the
Und die
sanctions,
sind also mittlerweile
but they
mit
know
Sanktionen
how
sehr
to
vertraut,
survive.
ja.
Or
Aber sie wissen, wie man
those
das überlebt.
sanctions
Und diese
made
Sanktionen,
DPRK more strong.
manche Sanktionen
strong
haben
country.
Nordkorea eher
Even
stärker
I think it's
gemacht.
the
Das haben
worst
sie einen starken
the
Land
sanctions
gemacht.
from
Selbst die
United States
schlimmsten Sanktionen
and
von den Vereinigten
supporting
Staaten, verhängt
so
wurden.
big powers. But now,
Von großen Mächten
so
unterstützt
far, they developed
So
how to
recht
survive
wurden,
without
haben sie,
helping
Überlebensstrategien
by
entwickelt.
outsiders. So that their system is they can survive even though
System ist
closed,
das
totally closed
Überleben,
door.
wenn sie völlig
Because
abgeschlossen
of
sind,
the United States, Japan and China,
Japan
they
und
can
China.
survive.
Ein Ring darum.
I
Sie können
I
überleben.
recognize that they can
Ich hab
survive.
das,
So their
erfahren, ich hab das
system is
gesehen, die können überleben.
one by one
Das System ist
throughout,
Stück
even
für
though
Stück.
toothpaste,
Ja, es ist
even
sogar
daily life
Zahnpasta,
products,
also
one by
Produkte
one,
des
one by
täglichen
one.
Lebens,
I think
das man
90%
Stück entwickelt.
domestic products,
Sind also zu
but maybe
90%
10%
einheimische
made in
Produkte,
China,
nur noch 10%
and then made in
sind
Russia,
China oder
or
in
made
Russland
in
hergestellt.
Germany, maybe
Oder
small
vielleicht
number
in
of
Deutschland eine
percentage.
ganz kleine Menge.
So that, my thing, it is a miracle.
In meinem
It's a miracle.
Denken ist es ein
When
Wunder,
United States
dass die
and the DPRK this time, I believe, I hope they become
zusammengehen,
treaty.
dass
They
sie
become
Verträge machen, dass
shake hands with the U.S. U.S. situation is critical right now.
die US
so that-
ist ein sehr kritischer Moment.
Mr. Trump, President Trump, cannot but dealing with North Korea. But if this time Mr. Trump lose opportunities, critical situation, United States, in terms of economic crisis, in terms of domestic violence, in terms of international credibility, 100 times, 150 times, they invaded other countries. I don't know. German respect the United States. I don't know. No any countries respect the United States except a few countries such as Japan and South Korea so far, not Moon Jae-in government. Just a few countries respect the United States. Without credibility, without belief, cannot survive, cannot develop. That means that there was no prosperity. So that I am U.S. citizen, but I'm worrying about my country, United States, become good country. So that United States government people listen my word. I should say is that I'm one of patriotists supporting great United States. Yeah, I said that many audiences, they gave me a big hand.
Okay.
Übersetzungsbedarf oder?
Entschuldigung, zu deiner Frage etwas hinzuzufügen, kann ich mal an eine Anekdote erinnern. Im letzten Jahr oder im vorletzten Jahr haben ein paar deutsche Musikalienhändler, die in Nordkorea ein Musikinstrument gekauft hatten. Sie wurden vom Verfassungsschutz gesucht, weil so eine bestimmte Metall oder so ein Sanktionsgegenstand ist.
Vielleicht ein Satz noch dazu. Zu Zeiten des Vietnamkriegs und kurz danach, ich habe Medizinelektronik repariert und dort standen ja auch Maschinenultraschall und sowas und dabei mussten natürlich bestimmte Chips gebraucht, um zu reparieren. Und die waren alle unter dem COCOM-Abkommen. Ich denke, COCOM dürfte ein Begriff sein. Und das war eigentlich der Hintergrund meiner Frage. Weil wir haben damals natürlich mitgeholfen und die Maschinen da zu reparieren. Und frag mich nicht, wie der Kram da hingekommen ist. Er kam dahin. Okay.
Hat er ja gesagt.
Von dem Hintergrund fragte ich halt, was passiert mit Leuten, die von außerhalb mit Nordkorea Handel treiben, auch mit Hightech ist natürlich auch eine militärische Geschichte. Und so in der Richtung ging meine Frage.
뭐라고?
죄송합니다. 아까 저 사람 질문이 북에 대해서 경제 제재가 있으면 그 제재가 북에만 해당되는 것인지 아니면 다른 나라도 해당되는 것이냐고 물었는데
북의 제재가 되는데 그 북의 제재로 인해서 중국이라든지 주변의 나라들로 이 연쇄적으로 영향을 미치기 때문에 그 다른 나라도 관계가 돼요.
Es wird doch so in einem Zusammenhang treten, weil es eine Kettenreaktion entsteht. 그래서 이 사람 이야기는 이 사람 옛날에 이제 그런 이제 일을 하면서 북쪽하고 관계되는 것을 도와준 셈이 되는데 그게 만약 경제 제재 대상이면 그것도 문제가 되느냐. 그리고 제가 말씀드렸던 건 얼마 전에 그런 일이 있었어요. 독일 사람이 악기를 샀는데 북에서 평양에서 악기를 샀는데 그 인보이스 때문에 여기 이제 호헌 기관 한국으로 치면 정보부 방문을 받아서 벌금을 내야 된다는 이야기 있어요.
됐어요. 그러니까 우리가 얘기 생략하기 위해서 앞으로 지금 이 시간 이후로 지금 조미 관계로 볼 때 그런 걱정을 안 해도 좋은 시절이 조만간에 온다는 거 그것만 얘기해 주세요.
Ich soll nur das sagen. Es wird bald so die Zeit kommen, in der man nichts mehr solche Sorge haben müsste, weil die nordkoreanische und amerikanische Beziehung sich verbessert.
Okay, das war hier die nächste Frage.
I'm missing one human right. It's for me very important. The right to travel. That means for me to exchange opinions, meanings, ideas, and as long as North Korea is such an isolated country, I don't see any way for the North Korean people, because they can't travel the world, so to say. So, if the right to travel is there, then I think it's a right. But if the right to travel is not there, then I think it's a right.
어.
I don't see any way for the North Korean people, because they can't travel the world, so to say. So, if the right to travel is not there, then I think it's a right. They can't travel the world, so to say. what other ideas can they have than the ideas that the government is kind of putting them into the head, you know? And that's what I criticize harshly, I must say, you know. As long as this is not possible to travel, there will be not much changing for the people.
Yeah, but the reality is so far the North Korean people have a limitation or the struggles or handicaps to travel the global community. There are many factors such as number one is sanctions plus and then United States the factor. Number two is financial situation, but their own system is they are not a decent economic life so far because of the sanctions and then not only United States but also relating countries. But that's why this North Korea now is negotiating is the United States. The United States has a critical situation. The Mr. Trump also critical situation. The Mr. Trump is going to become the 2020 November is the election. But he want to become the second term of the president. That is his intention and purpose.
Yeah.
Also, as you know, is
that would happen.
the U.S.A. The political situation is a Democratic Party oriented the nation. The Republican is a very they have lost credibility so far.
Yeah.
But this gentleman, Mr. Trump, is to make the Republican rising up. Yeah. That's why he want to have a Nobel Prize.
Nobelpreis haben.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah, for peace. Yeah. And then number third is his popularity is very low, 25%, under 30%. Yeah, that he's trying to make so-called revolution. So different the United States, and then self-determining United States. So that I don't know. The many American people don't like the Trump, but this situation between United States and DPRK, North Korea, yeah, he's a good position now. Even the Iran relation is not so good, but the DPRK, he succeeded to make a good deal. He might be given a Nobel Peace Prize.
I still have problems to understand the real interest of capitalist government like United States to support now a system which is very clear still a Marxist country. And in history we have a lot of cases where they try to destroy at any price those societies. Yeah, like Cuba and a lot of examples we have. So what is the real interest the United States may have now to go in a real cooperation with North Korea? They are not for peace, they are not working for peace on the global level. So what is the reason? And they are still powerful enough to even make a war in a distant area where they might control that they are not really attacked. So I still have problems to understand the real reason for the United States government to go in an open cooperation. I'm afraid it's just a game. It's just a game. Because the world society, the world was opposing against the risk of a war initiated by Trump to go to North Korea with arms. It's maybe just a game to come back in another more indirect way
in
to work against this country.
So far as I'm concerned, is the characteristics of imperialist country. Strong country is weak. Weak country is strong. You understand? Principle.
Can you repeat that, please? Sorry, I wasn't
Okay.
fast enough to translate it.
The United generally speaking, is a der imperialist country is the other side is strong. This is become weak. The other country is a weak country, occupied illegally, whatever. Every means by using every means. However, the other side is a strong country, which means DPRK is become strong country, which means they have nuclear power, strong nuclear power. You know, so that if DPRK had not developed nuclear power, United States or the Trump did not interest. Maybe invading like Iraq and Libya and Grenada. So that, yeah, so that that's why is that DPRK knew how to get over threatening from imperialists. We have to build up power. That's why they hungry, very hungry, even though 1995 is a worst situation. You know, there's a great flood, and then 75% is the farm area is destructive, but they spend money, build up the defense. That's why is the previous president, Mr. Kim Jong-il, passed away in the train. That's why current young leader knew that, so that they build up, they completed prepare his defense mechanism. So I think I could also get a lesson, you know, in order to protect imperialist threatening, self-determination. That means it's a build-up power. The power is two kinds of power. One is military weapon-oriented the power. Second thing is leader, military, people, grand unity. Grand unity means is North Korea #1 country of the world. Grand unity is #1. No other country can copy DPRK's grand unity system.
But Cuba might be an example of this combination, at least in
Cuba.
No, Cuba. Yeah.
Okay, hier ist die nächste Frage.
Yeah, I have two really quick questions.
Okay.
So the first one is the life in North Korea really as restricted as shown in Western media?
The life of the people in North Korea, is it as restricted as it's shown in Western media? So I've watched a few documentaries, and it says that people cannot freely choose what to study or where to live or what to wear, and is that true? Oh yeah, some is true and some is not true. Their system is not the same as the German. You know, Germany is a capitalist country. You can do your own way anything, right?
Yeah.
But they are socialist country, pure 100% socialist country. There are no other socialist country. China is not socialist country. Russia is not socialist, semi-socialist country. But DPRK is a 100% socialist country. That means the political perspective and then system-wise, you know. But the politics and then economics, both field is a totally socialist-oriented country. That is #1. But they have some restriction field. They cannot move freely other place. They have to, they want to move another place, they have to request and reason why, rationale, give a presentation. That is the government side is, okay, that is reasonable, then they can move. Or they marry the other people and then decide the one of the two spouses, okay? So some is they can do their own, but everything is planned by planning, pre-planning.
And the people there are happy with that? So it's okay for them?
Okay, I should say 99% is very happy, 1% is complain. And then the 1% complaint means is very selfish people, but not oriented, socialist oriented, influenced by the rotten. You understand?
Okay,
Yeah.
And my actual second question is, what do I have to do to travel to North Korea? So
Okay,
I
travel.
know it's really hard
Yeah.
to get there.
Okay, that's a good question. What you live? You live here, right?
Yeah, in Germany.
Okay, you open the yellow page, DPRK embassy.
Okay.
Maybe Berlin, okay? Or maybe consular office is Frankfurt, okay?
Yeah.
Also, maybe Mr. The Kim over there, yeah, he knows the people who are working for those kind of issuing visa, okay? Then number two is how to get a good trip over there. And then your trip is 1 week, but 1 week is too short to understand what is going on over there, okay? Then maybe you meet experienced people. Maybe right here, anybody to experience to visit North Korea? Here?
No, nobody has experience, but
No, anybody?
I met some people from Denmark who
Oh, yeah.
who traveled
Okay.
frequently.
Maybe you can find the here German also the socialist oriented organization, you know? Maybe, but here is a communist party too, right?
Yeah, but very small one.
Oh, small, yeah. Those kind of people, some of them is experienced visit. Okay, I give her my email there, right? Okay, you have any question? Give me. Then I can support you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aber es ist nicht ganz so, als wenn ich nach Luxemburg fahre.
So I would have another question if there is at the moment not anybody else. So my question is, I mean, on the background, let's say on the background on the so-called Cold War after 45.
Okay.
So we had more or less 3 countries which were divided. So this was Vietnam, this was Korea, and this was Germany.
And Yemen, and China, and Congo.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, okay. And then later, Cyprus, but
for other reasons.
Yeah, for other reasons, right.
Okay.
But nevertheless. So and then, then of course first Vietnam got reunified, yeah, but on the base of socialism.
Okay.
Then second, by bad chance, Germany got reunified on the base of capitalism. Yeah.
Okay.
So and maybe now that Korea will go its own way. Maybe, you talked about there can be maybe a period of time where there's a confederation and so
two steps. Right?
Yeah, I hope all the best for Korea. But my question is, I'm at the moment very much engaged with the situation in Syria.
Okay.
So that means I read every day. I read on Russia Today or on Sputnik or whatsoever. What's going on in Syria, and then quite often I read that there is a very quite close relationship between Syria and this is one point, and of course also they had maybe about nuclear development also in Syria. But then what you said, so Libya was attacked,
Yes.
and Iraq was attacked, and because they did not have nuclear weapons, you know.
Yes.
But now about Korea and the situation in Korea, in Syria, coming to Syria. So this was in August 2012. So let's 1 year after the invasion more or less started, from my opinion.
No.
And there was a Russian professor. His name is Andrei Fursov. And he wrote an article about that, you know, about the situation. And the headline of this article is blow against Syria, but the aim is Russia. That means the imperialists want in the end they want to encircle Russia and China but in order to get there, to reach there, they have to go to Iran. They must be in Iran, but in order to come to Iran, they have to conquer Syria and so on. But now, if you put this idea, let's say, to the Korean situation, then people say, in the end, it's not about from the United States. It's not about Korea. It's about China. In order to control China, what do you think about this idea? Or
This is typical, but I should say, in order to make peace on earth, right?
Yeah.
Then I think that there needs some solidarity, like I should say one of the model is German, okay? Yeah, German country is respected by the global community, I should say. Even though you made some period of the bad things happened, but the later on, this time I visit this here and there, then every corner of your country is very clean, and then people.
Where have you been?
Huh?
Where have you been?
Oh yeah, I've been. Yeah, I mean it's relatively.
Perhaps.
Yeah, that I'm very familiar with
that was
the
a satirical remark.
United States. United States. Every corner is like a garbage.
That's true.
New York, Washington D.C., Los Angeles, everywhere is a garbage.
Except for certain quarters, but
Yeah.
in general,
Yeah, but generally. But I think anyway, how is when I visit this time is the Germans. I got a good impression in many respects, but I don't know exactly what is going on inside. But outlooking is very clean anyway. And then so
take the compliment.
Yeah. So that the miracle. Your president is not president. What is your
chancellor?
Chancellor. Yeah. I think is my understanding is that she is a good job so far, but I don't know.
She does a good job, but for who?
Oh, okay. For who? Then I will learn more about your country. But anyhow, I visit many other countries, the global community. But number one is our looking is very clean, and then your housing is very. The clean outlooking is very good. And then I visited some houses, his house, and this is a very the decent environment. The number two is you guys, the keep rule. For example, this is a signal, traffic signal, and then we are Los Angeles people and New York people. Even though red line is close, many the violate is the rule, But here is a very every people I keep watching, Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know because
It's
it's.
even worse in Switzerland, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Anyhow, yeah. Anyhow, so that
Ja, nee, doch, aber wir sind die Wendländer schon.
we are in order to make
Dass jemand nachts um 12
peace. Okay. Anyway, I should say is the grand unity, solidarity. For example, there like I visited the many countries, other countries before I came here. I met is very good people, but I don't know. I'm not sure you guys is a majority or there's the minority in this country. But I should say, you gentlemen is not majority of this country.
Right.
You agree?
Yeah. Intelligence is always a minority.
Yeah. So every country, Australia, New Zealand, I met. There's a really good people, but those are not the majority, minority. But I think history created by good minority people. Even Korea, South Korean history, they're struggling 70 years. But student revolution, April Revolution 1960, and then 1950, 60, 70, 80, 90, every year's labor movement continued to up to now. Those are life, or those are really good model of, even though South Korea is a puppet of the United States, but majority is workers, students, young people. So many people is a good people. They are life of the South Korea, even though they are puppet countries. So that now is the South and North is a get together. So that I think is also German. I told you, I always, every time I talked about the German, I talked about Japan.
Mhm.
Yeah, I told you already. Yeah, so that I don't know how do I say, but anyhow, I am thinking you are very good intellectual people here, you know. So you guys and then our guys get together, solidarity, not only for peace in global community, but also for your own country development, prosperity. I do, even though I'm not the minority of the U.S.A., the main society, but there are people like you, same, you know, ANSWER, you know, ANSWER organization, ANSW or ANSWER is a peace movement organized the big organization. Also
in the United States.
No, United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Action IAC, International Action Center. Yeah, IAC. Yeah, that also is one of a good organization. So that I think I don't know what organization you work at, but I feel you know, I think it's look like you are the progressive oriented intellectual. So that these kind of people and the United States, the IAC answer people, and the South Korea labor movement organization people, and then the religious people. There's a good religious people too. Of course, there are bad religious people, a lot of bad religious, but some of them is a good religious people, Catholic and Protestant. I should say, in order to make a global peace, then we have to grant unity. That's why I'm here. Maybe Iuni made an organization tonight, right? So she made the great opportunity to meet the great gentlemen like you.
Yeah, okay, that is great. That is great. But the point is, it is not. Let's say it's not the actual idea of my question.
Oh, okay.
Because in connection now with Syria, with Russia. So if this professor he says, okay, what happens in Syria is a blow against Syria. But the aim is to control Russia.
Russia, that's right.
And let's say could be this similar that now from the point of the United States, and of course, in my opinion, Germany is an imperialistic acting country because of course they're working together with the United States. And they are as well a puppet of the United States as South Korea is. But in my opinion, but now that what the United States States now is doing in connection with Korea, you know, is the actual aim to control China. Would you say this, or is this different? Is that not the point? Do they? You talked about they are getting weaker and weaker. You know, the United States. But I mean, from the military point of view, I mean, it's incredible. But their ability. You know, they have 11, 12 what they call it, aircraft carriers, you know, and they have 50% of the world nuclear weapons, and so on, and 95% of the world foreign military bases are U.S. bases, 95%, you know. So they are, from the military point of view, they are incredibly strong. But I mean, altogether, you say they're getting weaker and weaker. But now the policy which they are doing at the moment, of course, I could try to ask you if Hillary Clinton would have been the president instead of Trump, would she have done the same thing like Trump? Or in the end, is the real aim of the policy of the United States in order to control, because China is getting stronger and stronger from the economic point of view, and Russia from the military point of view is in that sense getting stronger and stronger.
I think every country, the big country, do business with other country. With what should I say, gaining theory. Okay, gaining theory means is your Syria and Russia target, and then Syria relation, some conflict. Sometimes it's close, sometimes it's far. Okay. Like a game, you know.
Yeah.
So that depends on others, and then if the North Korea is a weak country, then United States may be invaded 100 times in the last 7 years, and not only Korean War, you know. But North Korea has been built up the strong and defense-oriented industry. That's why the United States did not invade like Iraq and things like that. That's why it's a power. So there are the Syria and United States and then Russia triangle relation. They counting, and then they bother the Syria in order to the pressure to Russia. You know, that is the game. You know, the political game. So that depends on what others. So that of course, politics is we ordinary people cannot know what is going on inside the purpose or tactics. The United States also now is a bad relation with Iran, but they're trying to treaty with North Korea right now. But in terms of Korean Peninsula peace situation, I think it's a good symptom. The Trump and then Kim Jong-un they meet together, you know. Yeah. So we cannot say simply, oh, this is this and that is that. So that this is something is very complicated.
Yeah. And what is your very private meaning about would Hillary Clinton would she have done the same politics?
Well, I don't know. The Hillary Clinton. I'm Democrat I'm Democrat in the United States, but I didn't vote Hillary. So I voted not the Clinton. I voted as a third party.
Okay.
Yeah, like a Green Party.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so.
Jill Stein.
Oh yeah. Huh?
Jill Stein.
So I don't like the Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
I don't like the Obama, even though I'm the Democratic people, because they are approach and relationship with South Korea and North Korea. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So physical patience. How long we have to wait? 7 years is enough. But the Clinton, many people said, oh, he's a crazy guy. However, some part is he's a businessman is very very fast to calculate it, according to gaining, what is interesting. So the United States, as you know, is the economically very weak right now, or the United States lost many credibility from global community. Even with a small number of countries, is a good relation, Japan and things like that. But the United States lost credibility. There are 200 over countries, but most of them they're threatening, So there are, I don't know how many years maintain is a strong country status, the United States. But I pray the U.S.A. should be a good moral country instead of a military macho country, moral-oriented country. Yeah, that's my praying.
Yeah.
For the situation before the Korean War, there was one Korea with a selected, from people selected government, I think. And then U.S. make parted
Yes, that's right.
Korea.
Yes.
And this state now is the following of the situation that the U.S. cannot occupy the North
Yes.
completely.
Yes.
And
because of power, North Korea, because they have power. That's why United States invaded North Korea. Cannot occupy northern part of Korea.
but my idea, I have no idea why, but there has been one country before the Korean War.
Yes.
Then U.S. begin
Yes.
the Korean War.
That's right. Yeah.
And then you have two parts.
Yes. Yes.
What's the meaning, the sense of the South Korean people after this occupation?
The South Korean, the 1945, and then some organization is make a survey, and then almost 70% is a socialist-oriented mind among the people.
Also in the South?
Yeah,
Okay.
the 70%. But become now South Korea, southern part of Korea, controlled by U.S.A. Then U.S.A. control the South Korean news media. The news media is pro-U.S. imperialist-oriented the policy. And then they put the article, those kind of populists, 90% those kind of things. And then ordinary people brainwash this. Oh, United States is a savior. Actually, not savior. The United States, is not like I'm the United States citizen, but imperialist force. Just a small number of people, maybe less than 10%. And then they're consisting of military merchant industry, military complex, right? Yeah. And then second is the explorer, the gasoline explorer. Number three is the huge financial the company entrepreneurs. Yeah, those kind of the people that control the huge United States giant people, 90%, But now many people aware, no. That's why it's here and there demonstrated almost every day. Even the black people is protesting this racism, the white supremacy racism. So there's many paradoxes. Every corner is bad things happen. Every day is the German has own right. You buy the gun.
No.
No. Yeah. But U.S.A. is everybody can have a gun. Yeah. Every day newspaper. Oh, this guy is killed. Oh, that guy is killed. Every day. Yeah.
Hier war noch eine Frage. Ne?
Yeah, I don't know if you said it before, but so where are you from?
From originally South Korea. I went to United States to study 1973 as an overseas student. Yeah.
So why did you leave South Korea?
Where I live?
Why?
Oh, why?
I don't get it because
No,
you
I
seem
was
in-
born in South Korea.
Yeah, but you seem in favor of North Korea, or aren't you?
Oh, no. Oh,
Because I'm not sure
okay.
whether like you kind of are in favor of the government of Kim Jong Un. Yeah, you are.
Okay. I am a people over one Korea.
So you believe you?
Yeah, that I
join.
regard one Korea. I regard as one Korea, South Korea and North Korea. I'm not in favor of South and I'm not in favor of North. South and North is our one Korea originally, but we are divided by superpowers, not our destiny. Superpowers invaded. Japan invaded. U.S.A. invaded. Russia involved. You understand? That's why it's a superior power made Korean people separated two parts.
Yeah, okay.
One is a pro, one is anti. That's why the United States bothered South Korean and North Korean so far. Understand?
Yeah, I can't understand how here in Germany we always hear in the news like that North Korea is really bad or Kim Jong Un kind of is crazy, and you always hear that he's acting so mean and the population in North Korea is really unhappy. But then I just can't understand how you live in the U.S.A. where the media there also talks about Kim Jong Un in really negative terms, and you can kind of not get determined and you're not influenced by the media in the U.S.A. so far that you can say, okay, I kind of understand Kim Jong Un, and you're not hating the North. I just can't understand.
Okay, I give you
can stay
tips.
so neutral.
I give you tips how to understand or how to analyze good guy and bad guy. For example, United States main news media reported is a good guy. For example, the Korea is a good guy means he's a bad guy. Bad guy, and then you interpret it, he's really good. That you have to read lines between lines.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a very easy tip to understand what is going on,
But
international
I mean, in
level.
Germany, we can't really.
And then
read
United
between
States
the lines.
mainstream, and then I can ask you. I want to ask you. German is close relation with the U.S.A.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Part of NATO, part of NATO.
Okay. Then German mainstream newspaper said, in terms of Korean Peninsula, this is good. You interpreted this is bad. You understand? I'm the journalist. They said almost 50 years experience. That I can easily read lines between lines. So I don't know actually what is going on in Syria and what is going on in Iran, but the Iran thinks something that this is Iran is the right action. That same thing. So you guys you understand. You cannot communicate with me. Then said you follow my instruction. And then this, for example, the mainstream news media is, this is Kim Jong Un, he's a bad guy. Then you say, this is good.
Just turn it. Right. Okay.
You talk about in the history part. You talk about the United Nations role also. In development. Is there any role at the moment the United Nations is taking for the development of the unification or the peace development?
Say it again.
What is the role of the recent role of the United Nations?
Right now.
Yeah, the United Nations so far is not fair. That's why is the DPRK North Korea tried to innovate United Nations structure because it's a U.S. oriented operation. That's why they deal with the international matter always United States interfered, United States dominant. That building is United States, the New York. And then, for example, it's the DPRK people, they stay there as a representative, but they cannot move 25 miles away. Restricted control. That's unfair. You understand what I mean? So that United States, sometimes is even Japan and China and Russia, even those big countries too, raised hands to support United States proposal. But contents is actually unfair matter. So that the United States, the sanctions toward is the DPRK, most of them unfair. DPRK can have a right to operate as a satellite. The United States, no. This might be danger relating to the missile. Satellite is free to the operate. So many things is wrong operation, controlled by the U.S.A. side. So that I think there's not only DPRK and then third world, the unaligned people. Those countries are trying to innovate is the United Nations. United Nations operation is very, very unfair. So many countries start to be aware, so that we need to innovate. We need to change system.
Wolfgang, du hattest noch eine Frage?
Nee, eigentlich
Was ist?
kleine Anmerkung und das hat sich überholt.
Okay. Gibt es noch Fragen in die Runde? Gibt es nicht? I do have a very small question. Would you be aware, as far as I know, the GDR, so East Germany,
East Germany,
had a very good relation towards North Korea.
Before, huh?
Yeah. Are you aware about this?
I didn't know exactly the relationship in North Korea, but anyhow, your country situation different from Korean Peninsula. Now your country becomes one country. And then,
Not quite.
Oh, not quite. Or anyway, I don't know, but the German and the Western German, but anyhow is the long time ago. Oh, I see. But I didn't study exactly deeply, the German. But our looking is anyway is unified country, right? Yeah, yeah. So, but maybe develop more better.
Yeah, but then maybe in order to close the discussion and so, and if I understood you right, then you are quite optimistic about
very optimistic
coming reunification of and in peace and then also that out of this there will not be the Third World War. You're quite optimistic about that.
Yeah, very optimistic.
Yeah. So that's great. That's fantastic. And then thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
And, more. Good feeling. Good feeling.
Thank you.
Gute Reise. Nice job.
Thank you.